Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, welcome to another market open stream. Today, we are starting out a new month, July, which happens to be a historically great month for Bitcoin. So, let's talk about everything that's going on today and what to expect for this new month now that we are in July. All right, let's do it, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The US market is kicking off July slightly red, just a little bit. And today, Robinhood is still doing well. Circle's in the green. The MicroStrategy and Coinbase taking a big breather. And Tesla is certainly taking a beating right now, down 7.6%. Why is this? Well, because these two are fighting again over this big, beautiful bill. Elon does not like it at all. In fact, that big, beautiful bill is still being voted upon in the Senate. It started yesterday, went through the night. I think they're still voting on it, and there are a lot of amendments that's being put in there. But Elon's been shredding it, saying that it's a debt slavery, and he vows to unseat any Republicans who back it. And he's been talking about creating a new party because he's so upset about this bill. And, you know, Trump is not holding back, saying that, you know, Elon already knew before he endorsed him that he was against the EV mandate. Basically, this big, beautiful bill is going to remove all EV credit from cars, from solar. And then Trump put in here saying that Elon got more subsidies than any human being in history by far. And without those subsidies, Elon would have to close up shop and head back to South Africa. No more rocket launches, satellites, electric car production, and our country would save a fortune. Yeah, so Trump is not holding back anymore, it seems like. However, because Elon did get those subsidies, Starlink is now huge. Tesla is huge. SpaceX is huge. I don't think he needs any more subsidies to survive. But yeah, it's kind of, you know, kind of this back and forth once again, just like a month ago or 2 months ago. And, you know, not good. Not good for Tesla investors, that's for sure. And probably not good for passing of this big, beautiful bill. So I guess we'll see. We got this that's kicking off this month. All right, what else is there? Well, one of the amendments that's good for us, for crypto investors, is this no capital gains tax on transactions. Okay, so it's not no capital gains tax. No capital gains tax on transactions, meaning if you're going to spend your crypto, you want to spend, I don't know, buying things with your crypto directly, you don't have to pay the tax. So that was slipped in. Senator Loomis even said that is the case. And there are senators that do not like it because they think that this will help the Trump family more than anyone else. And they're fighting over that. But it was slid in there. So it's one of the things that they do. They slide all these amendments in there at last minute and hope they get agreed upon or you know, or it's just a distraction. I don't know. But we'll see. If that gets passed, it will be huge. But even if this gets past the Senate, there's still the House to get through, right? Kind of like the Genius Bill. Genius Bill still waiting to pass the House. What else is there? Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell is going to be talking today. In fact, he may be talking right now at the ECB forum. And, you know, again, whatever he talks, people get very, very, very worried about what he may say. At this point, I mean, I don't think he could possibly say anything that we haven't heard a million times. He wants to see inflation stay low. He wants to see the effects of the tariffs. And that's about it. But I don't know. Trump's been trying to say, yesterday I covered how Trump's trying to get him fired. He sent him a personal note. And Bassett is saying he may be looking for a replacement, even though the Constitution says Trump does not have the power to fire a Fed Reserve chair. I don't know. He's putting a lot of pressure on him. But in my opinion, I don't think Powell is going to change his stance. It's not like he's intentionally not cutting the rate on purpose. He just wants to make sure that there's more data behind it, more clarity. But it is costing America a lot of money. That is one thing that Trump is right about. The elevated rates is costing the country hundreds of billions of dollars because of the new debt that we have to issue to pay back the previous debt. So it's not good. It's not good. And that's why we have Bitcoin. That's why we have Bitcoin, and that's why you got Sailor and Strategy that continues to load up on more and more and more and more Bitcoin. And TD Cowen says this strategy works despite the risk. It works. And that is why others have copied. Obviously, I cover a lot about like Metaplanet and others that are doing the same thing. Here's another one, smaller company, Thumzup Media, that announced they're going to raise $6.5 million. They're raising debt because they want to utilize it to buy Bitcoin, right? So this Bitcoin strategy that we're hearing about every single day, investors love it. But ultimately, the reason why this works is because Bitcoin is the best performing asset there is. And with all the shenanigans that we're hearing about from central banks, about inflation and monetary policy, that's why we have Bitcoin. Because whatever they're doing does not work long term. Short term, yeah. Long term, every fiat debases and your buying power decreases every single year. And you want to protect your wealth. Yesterday, we got 102 million inflow. Not as good as last week. Last week we were like, look at it, every single day it was like 300, 500, 500. But that may change. It's the start of a new month. Yesterday, 102 million. We'll see. But July is important. July historically is a really, really, really good month. Okay, so take a look at this. July, you had 2024 up 3%, 2023 we were down 4%, but look at 2022 up 17%, 2021 up 18%, 2020 up 24%. 2019 wasn't so good, but 2018 up 21%, 2017 up 17%, 18%. So as you can see, we had some explosive moves. In the last cycle, 2021, we went up 19%. 19%. You know, if you look at this cycle, right, 2025 versus 2021, the last cycle, the last year of the last cycle, when Bitcoin went up to $69,000. Look at April, May, and June. We had 3 very red months. Okay, especially May. May of 2021, we went down 35%. 35%. That 1 month alone. And in June, we compounded it with another minus 6%. So for those of you guys that are sitting here, it's like, Bitcoin is not going anywhere. Bitcoin is so stale. Be grateful for what we had so far. This year, we had a 14% green in April. We had an 11% green in May. And we had a 2.5% green in June. Those numbers are way better than the negative numbers of 2021. And the thing is, 2021 was a fantastic year for Bitcoin. But see, this shows that fantastic years still have horrible dips. But this has been the calmest cycle that we have ever seen. And Bitcoin just slowly trends upwards. If you look at history, man, before in previous cycles, we had so many bad months, even in great years. But this year so far, pretty steady. Other than in February, when the tariffs were announced, that's when we had a little dip of 17%. But outside of that, every single other month has been pretty rock solid or in green. So we'll see what happens this July. Historically, it's a great month. And speaking of Trump, we've been talking a lot about Trump recently. Their family is raising $220 million for this new Bitcoin mining company that they partner up with Hut 8. So, this talk about no capital gains tax on transactions, it's certainly going to help a lot of people, including Trump's own family. That's for sure. But still, raising hundreds of millions for a Bitcoin mining company, which ultimately will secure the network better and generate more Bitcoin, is very smart. It's very, very smart. Right now, it's all about accumulation, no matter how you do it, either through mining or direct buying. The Smart Web company, they now hold 773 Bitcoin. They bought 230 recently, and they want to continue. So again, it's just about acquiring. Accumulation. And not only are we in the most bullish month, July, but, again, if you look at the fundamentals, they're fantastic. They're looking good. Things are looking like they should. And if you're looking at something like this, daily transfer volume, we're definitely nowhere near the top. And other things like, hey, yesterday we closed out the highest monthly close ever for Bitcoin. Stuff like that is bullish. It may not appear like July or June was a great month, but we still had the highest monthly close ever for Bitcoin. So we are still trending upwards. And eventually, we are going to get that bounce. Still waiting for that next leg. It's going to come. But we got a lot of metrics. We got a lot of charts, a lot of indicators. Here's one that shows golden cross is imminent on the day chart. It's going to happen. Just got to be patient. And again, a gentle reminder that July is a good month, and this year has been really good, especially if you compare it to previous years. If you're still doubting that this is a good year for Bitcoin, just go back and look at some of these red months from previous cycles. What else is there? American Express may be secretly using Ripple again. They are upgrading their network, and people are speculating whether or not this has to do with their partnership with Ripple. And it could. It could. A lot of financial institutions, including Bank of America, I believe, states that they're using all their internal transactions on the ledger. And here's another interesting headline: 1.7 million XRP exit Binance. So it does seem like XRP is getting a little more traction recently, a little bit more momentum. So that's good. And it could be because there's a lot more adoption. And of course, they're in stable coins as well, which is really, really hot. And Circle wants to continue their hotness. They're seeking U.S. trust bank status to oversee USDC reserves, and they want to dominate. They want to knock off USDT as the top liquidity provider for Bitcoin trading pairs. That's going to be a challenge. Almost everywhere, every exchange uses USDT as the main stablecoin pair. To knock it off and replace it with USDC, it's a challenge, but I think Circle does have the advantage of being in the US. So that certainly could happen, at least with the US exchanges first, and then move forward with other foreign exchanges. A few other things. Germany's largest bank, Deutsche Bank, to launch crypto services in 2026. And that's about it. So a lot of stuff. Let's see. U.S. market still kind of mixed. Dow turned green, so that's good. Circle now went really red. Tesla still red. MicroStrategy. The only thing up is Robinhood today, so that's good. Well, that's not good that everything else is down. Today, a little breather day. Bitcoin is down like $500. Didn't really move. So we're waiting for that next big move. All right, let's do some Q&A. We'll bring out a liquidation heat map here. This is the levels we have. Here's a big one at 105.6. And then there's one at 108. We're kind of hovering in between. So if we continue to move up, we probably will hit that 108. If we continue to go down, we'll probably hit this 105.6. Timo is asking, why is the dollar losing so much to euro? You know, having a weak dollar is actually not such a bad thing. It depends. If the dollar is crashing, it's bad. If it just loses value to other currencies, that's actually good because it entices other investors and companies to come in and you know, they're going to get benefit, right? Because their currency is worth more. But I think our dollar's been going down for many reasons. People are fearful about our debt ceiling. This big, beautiful bill increases the debt by $4 trillion, or debt ceiling by $4 trillion. And there's still the things with tariffs and these trade deals that are being worked on. And we had our credit rating cut for the first time in, I don't know, ever, or I don't know how long it's been. So these things are bringing down the dollar. Tesla's recovering a little bit. Ooh. Trump says Elon could lose a lot more than just the EV mandates. Trump's not holding back. Trump's been playing nice. For anyone else, he would have attacked him brutally already. Trump's been playing nice with Elon, but it seems like he may not be holding back much longer. Tariffs are considered a tax-deductible expense. Is it? If you're paying a tariff, it's considered tax deductible. I guess it is. You know, but tax deductible is still not as good as just not paying them in the first place. But it's something. Didn't think Trump could mess with Jerome Powell. He can't. It's not within his rights to fire Powell, but I don't know. Trump's been making a lot of moves anyways, right? And being challenged at the Supreme Court level. So he may find some kind of loophole that says, yeah, I have the right to fire him, and I'm going to do so. I don't know. Powell could be, I mean, he hasn't been swayed before, but maybe now he could be pressured to cut the rate or cut faster. July, we have an FOMC meeting at the end of this month. And that's actually not too bad. 19% chance versus before it was lower. So the rate cut probability went up. September for sure. If we don't get one in July, it's a 77% chance of a cut. So there's always a chance. Yeah, many people have said Trump should not fire Powell. Like, even the previous people have said, don't fire Powell. He's actually talking to the ECB right now. Christine Lagarde, or Lagarde, I never know how to say her last name. She hates Bitcoin. She hates Bitcoin. But she even admits her daughter loves Bitcoin. All the young people love Bitcoin. All the old people, old heads, some are turning their tone, but a lot of them still just does not believe. Powell's looking pretty fresh there in the middle. Yeah, Yeah, he's not saying anything. Clarkson is asking how my sprinkler is coming along. I figured out why that one zone doesn't work because it disappeared from the controller. I don't know why. Like, it's in my app, but the zone disappeared. So yesterday I went to that box, and those actuators you could actually manually turn with your hand. And when you do that, it lets the water into that zone. And I found the actuator that controls that zone that doesn't work. And when you manually turn the actuator, it works. So then I kept thinking, is it an electrical line or anything that got cut? No, because the other lines in that box work. And then I finally realized that in the controller, the zone disappeared altogether. And I have no idea how to add it back. So I'm waiting for the sprinkler people to come back to add it back. There must be some secret menu or something. But I have no idea how that zone disappeared. But I fixed the other pipe, so now I could at least clean up the rock area. Paying $2,700 to install 4-zone and control panel. I forgot what I paid. I think I paid $11,000. I have 11 zones, control panel, and it's Wi-Fi enabled. I think that's how much I paid. Man, I think I'm gonna take some profits on Robinhood today. Yesterday it spiked up 12%. It's up 5% today, mostly because of the tokenization they announced. They're coming out the L2, and they're just expanding greatly, but they're really overbought. On a daily they are. Weekly, I guess they could keep going a little bit further. Circle, I don't know what happened to Circle. It lost all momentum. I mean, sure, it went up too far, too fast, but now it's just like, man, every day investors are selling off, selling off, selling off. I wonder when it's going to turn around. Coinbase turned green today. That's good. There's a slight dip right here, and then now it's back up. What is this news about Sol ETF tomorrow? It's not a spot ETF. It's not. So if it was a spot ETF, it would be much bigger news. It's some kind of futures-based ETF. Oh, wow. Powell's throwing it back. Throwing it back at Trump. Fed would have cut by now if it was not for the tariffs. In effect, we went on hold when we saw the size of the tariffs, and essentially all inflation forecasts for the United States went up materially as a consequence of the tariffs. So Powell is telling Trump, you made me do this. You made me not cut. I bet Trump's not going to like that. The next handwritten note to Powell is going to contain some swears. David, inflation didn't really go down. For certain things, I think we did see a decrease. I saw like gas prices have come down a lot. That's probably due to just like increased drilling or whatever, or opening up our reserves. So in essence, some things like gas is down, but everything else is not. Year to year, nothing is down. But I haven't seen, I don't know if I noticed, I haven't seen a great increase either. Well, that's the thing. I haven't seen like within the last few months, I haven't seen things get like 30% more expensive or 50% more expensive. So, yeah. Elixir says the pound of butter I bought yesterday went up by $1. All right. Maybe I just haven't been paying attention. Well, we're climbing back to the 107 level. So that's good. Those handwritten notes would be collectible. You know, if Powell wanted to, if he like laminated that and decided to put on, and he put it on eBay, that thing will fetch millions, man. Maybe even not even laminate it. Just put in a folder and put it up on eBay. I bet he'll fetch a cool like 3 to 5 million for that. At some auction, maybe not eBay, but like someone will pay him a lot for that. Of course, he's not going to do it, but it'll be funny if he did. All right. I think that's about it, guys. Today's the start of the new month. We're starting out a little slow, but we got a couple people, important and influential people, fighting again. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if the big, beautiful bill, if it passes the Senate today. And we'll see how Bitcoin moves. All right. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for my video tonight. Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.